Hello, my name is Malcolm Tassa, and today I will be choosing one of the most powerful and timeless speeches in American history for speech number three, my public speaking class. The speech that I've chose is Martin Dr. Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. This speech was delivered on August 28th, 1963, during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Over quarter million people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial to hear Dr. King speak. What they heard still echoes throughout history. The speech isn't just memorable for its message, it's great because of how he said it, the rhythm, the emotion, and the hope that came through every line. Martin Luther Dr. King, he was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. He was raised in a family that valued education, faith, and standing up for what's right. He went on to earn his doctorate in theology from Boston University, becoming both a pastor and a leader in the civil rights movement. He was grounded in nonviolence, inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, but his voice carried enormous power. Through events like the Montgomery bus boycott and the Birmingham campaign, he proved that powerful protests could create real change. By the time he gave the I Have a Dream speech, he had already become a moral center of the movement, calling for a nation to finally live up to its own promises of freedom and equality. In Martin Luther I Have a Dream speech, he reminds America that hundreds of years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Black Americans still weren't free in practice. He talks about the promissory note, the idea that the Constitution and Declaration of Independence promised liberty and justice for all, but that promise hadn't been fulfilled yet. Then the speech shifts. It moves from frustration to vision, from what's wrong to what could be right. When he repeats the words, I quote, I have a dream, it's not just poetic, it's a blueprint for a better future. He imagines a world where his children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And that's another quote from the speech. The speech builds momentum like a song. You can feel the rhythm in his words. It's calm at first, then it rises with energy and conviction until it feels like the whole crowd is breathing with him. Another point why I think this speech is really great, it isn't just what he said, it's how he said it. First of all, it's timeless. More than 60 years later, those same words still fit today's conversations about justice, unity, and equality. Second of all, his delivery was extraordinary. Extraordinary. Going back to that pacing and that tone and that use of repetition, he made everything work together to drive his message home. When he said, now is the time, it wasn't just a statement, it was a call to action. And finally, the speech balances intellect and emotion. It's deeply thoughtful, but also deeply human. Martin Luther Dr. King speaks to the head and the heart at the same time. And that's what separates a good speech from a great one, in my opinion. To me, Martin Luther Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech isn't just a moment in history, it's a reminder of what communications can do when it's driven by purpose. Dr. King's words continue to inspire people to see beyond their circumstances and believe in something greater: equality, compassion, and justice. Even though this speech was given more than 60 years ago, it still speaks to today's world. We're still fighting some of the same battles and against inequality and against division, against the idea that some lives matter more than others. Yet his dream still stands as a kind of roadmap, not a description of where we are, but a vision of where we could be. When I listen to I Have a Dream speech, I'm reminded of how important it is to use your voice, even when it feels like no one's listening. Even when it feels like change is slow, a single voice spoken with purpose and conviction can really move people. In conclusion, that's what Dr. King did. He used his words to shape history, and to me, that's what makes Martin Luther Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech not just a great one, but one of the greatest speeches ever given. Thank you.